Ballot measures may be big, but tonight it's the big three elections stealing the spotlight: Virginia, Jersey, and New York. And joining us live at the desk to weigh in, Fox and Friends weekend co-host Charlie Hurt. I had to give you credit about the filibuster thing and President Trump.
He is the best messenger. It's amazing.
He is. What are you watching the most tonight? 'Cause I have, in all my years, and I am longer in the tooth than both of y'all combined, I cannot remember an election this kind of off, not midterm, but the midterm election that got this much attention.
You have a guy running in New York City as a Democrat who got picked by the Democrat voters to be the nominee. And then you have the biggest star in the Democrat Party refusing to endorse him, and you have the senior senator from New York refusing to endorse him because of his policies. And obviously that's Mamdani. Meanwhile, you have the President of the United States, who's a Republican, who's endorsed the Democrat in the campaign. It is absolute lunacy. I've never seen anything like it. But the part of it that I think is kind of interesting, and I sort of wonder if we're going to play expectations games, I think that they're kind of meaningless. But if you're going to play the expectations game, you could kind of say the Republicans have kind of screwed themselves, because we've talked so much about the possibility that of an upset in Virginia or New Jersey. But at the end of the day, if Democrats should win all of the races tonight. There should not be a single race that Democrats don't. If you look at trends going back 40 years, in the year after a presidential race, voters in New Jersey and Virginia almost always reject the power that won the previous year. So Democrats should clean up tonight. And if they do, they're going to say, oh, look, we're in great shape. No, they're not. They still have huge problems. But if Republicans actually pick up any seat, J.C. Miari's in Virginia, any seat, if they pick one up, that's going to be a five-alarm fire for Democrats.
Charlie, I always bring it back to money. I know last night I was in a grocery store.
You're good at that.
I said to the owner, this is the last night I'm paying for groceries. Tomorrow I'm going to come and get everything for free. And he said, I know a lot of people that are going to vote for Mamdani, but nobody will be getting free groceries here. I'm scared for my business. What are you hearing in the general marketplace as well?
Well, and I think you made an important point earlier that, you know, the people who are going to pay the heaviest price for all this are not the rich people. They'll be fine. They're going to leave. It's poor people left behind who aren't going to be able to afford any of these experiments, who can't afford these experiments. But it's like, and this is the problem with, you know, it's a long-term problem we have in our country where, you know, because the argument about socialism isn't working. And the reason it's not working is because we have spent decades failing to teach people history.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to relearn it now. And, you know, we could all survive relearning that lesson because we just sort of go over here. We moved to Florida for 4 years. But people who don't have that luxury or are actually reliant on charity or whatever, they're going to be the ones that really take it in the shorts. And it's going to be an ugly 4 years if he wins.
Yeah.
There's so little that he can do. New York City, the combined tax rate the state and local has the highest tax rate of any locality for the most wealthy of any locality in the entire United States already. And so he has no taxing power. He can freeze rents, I think, a couple of years maybe, but he can not enforce the law, and he can not, in essence, and not stand behind our police department. And so if he wins, have at it. My dad always warned me 30 some odd years, New York will crack wide open and just suck everybody into it one of these days. So let this happen. Yeah. Let it become a free-for-all. Empty the prisons, which is happening with Rikers. Well, so the rest of the country can see what these left-wing policies do.
So that obviously that's the very cynical approach, and I think Republicans are looking at that and they see that as to the advantage. People are like we already talked about the Mamdani effect. That the Mamdani effect is going to be very powerful. Everybody's going to run against Mamdani. I would argue the reason the polls are so close in New Jersey right now is because that's already the Mamdani effect. There are a lot of sane Democrats in New Jersey looking across the river going like, holy cow, I'll vote for the Republican this time, even though I'm not a Republican. But The other thing that I think is really important here is that what we're seeing with Mamdani is not a rejection of conservatism or capitalism or any of those things, as much as it is a rejection of flawed Democrats have been in control of this place for decades. And the frustrations that young voters who don't know anything about their history and socialism are turning to, they are rejecting failed Democrat policies.
You say that he won't be able to do much, but waterfall economics are going to happen. If commerce goes away, jobs goes away. If jobs goes away, the community sort of falls apart. And so I think even if he does nothing from a policy standpoint, there will be a ripple effect that I think will affect everybody here.
You're right.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the people who claim the loudest that they care about the most vulnerable and the poorest among us actually really don't care about them at all.
Yeah,
and
at the least.
And they're going to pay the price.
Well, we saw it with Biden and the wide open border. How many funerals did they go to?
Yeah, and of course, when you usher in millions of illegal aliens into New York City and then taxpayers put them up for free, guess what happens? Housing prices go up.
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, like, I don't know math, but even I understand that.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And it's actually the state and the socialism of New York City that has caused the problems that he's promising to fix with socialism. Right. Okay, figure out that circle of jerk. Charlie,
Thank you.